on, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Horror Life, and I'm your host, Anthony. So today I got a huge horror haul of a bunch of DVDs, a few Blu-rays, and stuff like that I wanted to show you guys. So let's get right to it. Oh, also, check this out, man. I got this hat. I got it online from Premier Props. It's from the movie Piranha 3DD with Ving Rhames and Hasselhoff and Elizabeth Shue and all those people. The messed up thing about it is, like, it's kind of stained a little bit because I spilled something on it. But, I mean, what are you going to do, right? You know what I'm saying? I buy my stuff to collect, not to sell again another day. So, there it is right there. You know what I'm saying? Ving Rhames wore it when he was killing piranhas at the beach. It had guts all over and stuff. So, I think I spilled, like, coffee or something on it. And then it, like, stained the lettering. It's kind of weird, like. It didn't even stain the lettering, like, yeah, it did stain it. It, like, changed the lettering in the middle the same color as the top and the bottom, but you know what? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's mine now. Alright, so, first one I got here is a DVD, and this is the old school Stephen King classic, Sleepwalkers, with cameos of Clive Barker and Stephen King. You know, the funny thing is, I've seen this so many times, but I don't remember ever seeing Clive Barker in it. But hey, you know what? That's why we watch things again. Yeah, man. I love Stephen King's stuff. You know what I mean? His stuff is just great. You know what I mean? I mean, it's great. The movies are never anywhere as good as his books. I wish they would start making some of his movies like his books a little bit better, you know? I think it would be, you know, a whole lot cooler. All right, I got this one here. This one's called The Substitute. It says here from the director of Night Watch, from the makers of 30 Days of Night and The Grudge present The Substitute. I think I've seen this a long time ago. I think I did. Of course, it's a Ghost House thing here. I think I saw this a long time ago. Something about a girl who, you know, is in the classroom and stuff. Let's see. A small town 6th grade class gets a new substitute teacher who wants to train them for a mysterious international competition in Paris. But something isn't right. How is she able to read their minds? Why is she so mean? And how does she so cleverly manipulate all of the parents into believing how great she is? Sounds like all of our daughters' boyfriends, right? Or girlfriends, vice versa, right? You know how it goes. All right, to the whole class that she's a nightmare come true. As the story unfolds, we find that there's a reason she seems to be from another planet. Yeah, I do really think that I did see this movie a long time ago and that I did kind of like it a little bit. But you know what? I absolutely love, like, cheesy horror films. I love low-budget films. You know what I'm saying? I love all that stuff. And, of course, no collection is complete without the original Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. I mean, Jack Nicholson was just absolutely phenomenal in this movie, as he is in all of his movies. You know, it's really, really one of my favorite all-time movies of all time. It's just awesome, and I'm sure every one of you guys have seen it. Another great Jack Nicholson film. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this one. It's called The Terror, and this has got Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson in it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, what? Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson were in a movie together? Yes, it was 1963. And this movie, it has some similarities a little bit to The Shining. It's about Jack Nicholson plays like a army general or some type of lieutenant or whatever, and he gets somehow detached from his military troops and stuff, and he ends up on like a beach, and he sees this woman, and he follows the woman, and you know, you don't know if she's a real woman or if she's like a figment of his imagination or whatever, and he follows this woman into this giant huge castle. You know what I mean? And she gets inside the castle, and then he goes in the castle, but there's no woman in the castle. He meets Mr. Karloff, who's the Baron, and Mr. Karloff is just this weird guy, man. He's kind of, you don't know if he's gonna come off as a vampire or something, but he's just this weird guy. And him and Jack Nicholson have all these like conversations, and they're talking to each other and stuff. And Jack Nicholson's character is constantly telling him about this woman that he saw. Boris's character is like, you know, there's no woman in this house. But the more and the more he hears these stories, he starts to think maybe the woman is a woman that he knew. You know, I don't want to spoil the entire thing for you, but I mean, it's a movie where Jack Nicholson ends up literally losing his mind all over again, just like he did in The Shining. You know, he just loses his mind. It's pretty insane, man. If you want, here, I'll go ahead and read it to you. It says, let's see. When Napoleonic Cavalier soldier Lieutenant Andrew Duvalier, Jack Nicholson, becomes estranged from his unit, he comes upon a mysterious woman named Helene along the coast of Germany. Immediately, the lieutenant is taken with her, but quickly becomes suspicious of her actions. It seems as if she's leading him into the ocean and quicksand, traps to incite his ultimate demise. Things get even stranger when he is put up for the night at a nearby castle maintained by a baron, and Helene unexpectedly appears there. The baron is convinced that Helene is the ghost of his long-departed wife, Isla, but the lieutenant thinks that she's under a hypnotic spell cast by a strange old living on the edge of the Baron's island. Jack Nicholson believes she is a witch that is scheming against the Baron, slowly pushing him to the brink of madness. It's really, it's a really awesome film. You guys got to check that out. If you like The Shining, you'll automatically love that one. And I mean, this right here is, I love Puppet Master. I love any old film about demonic toys. And this here it's a box set. It has, actually, no, this is not the box set. I have another box set in there. Yeah, this is just demonic toys, which is so badass, man. Okay. They're cute, they're cuddly by day, lethal demons by night. Ruthless killing machines come alive for one purpose, death. And for 5 adults in an abandoned warehouse, every child's worst nightmare has become a deadly reality. While on a stakeout, Judith Gray, a beautiful, tough cop, is trapped inside a warehouse full of toys. But these are no ordinary playthings. They have been awakened by a mysterious life by a strange child of darkness, known as the Kid. Each toy feeds on blood. Jack Attack heads straight for the throat. Grizzly Teddy is not afraid to show his claws, and Baby Oopsie Daisy is truly to die for. Now it's up to Gray and a passing delivery boy, Mark Wayne Bentley Mitchum, to stop the deadly demonic toys. If you are a fan of Puppet Master or any of Full Moon movies, Gingerbread Man, Evil Bong, if you're a fan of any of those, you'll automatically love this film. I mean, it's great. It's unbelievably great. I mean, I almost like this film more than I like Puppet Master. Puppet Master is awesome. I mean, you can't go wrong with Puppet Master. There's so many of them. Now we got the new one that just came out a few years ago, and I really hope they do a sequel to that one. But if you love any of that, you will absolutely love Demonic Toys. My favorite is Oopsie Daisy Baby. She's ruthless. Okay, I got another Jack Nicholson movie here. Of course, we all know this movie, Little Shop of Horrors. And since there's a collector's edition DVD, I don't need to tell you guys what Little Shop of Horrors is. Everybody knows this movie. It's a classic. And this was the classic before the classic with Rick Moranis and Steve Martin. That one was a classic. That one is an awesome movie. It's awesome. It's a great musical, everything. This one, if you guys haven't seen the original, you got to check this one out. It's really awesome. Badass. Next one I got here, this was a show that I loved when I was a kid. Tales from the Dark Side, the complete series. It's hard to find this. Like, I stream a lot of movies and like shows on like Shudder and Amazon and all these different streaming things and stuff. But I can never find this show. I can't find it anywhere. And to have the entire season on DVD, I mean, this is just gonna be badass awesome. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. You already know. I'm probably going to watch this tonight, man. All right. And, of course, we had to get this. This is the horror collection. 17 movies. And look at all of these. Look at all this stuff. All right, check it out. We got Puppet Master. Puppet Master 2. Puppet Master 3, Toulon's Revenge. Puppet Master 4. Puppet Master 5. Curse of the Puppet Master. We got Retro Puppet Master. Puppet Master The Legacy. Puppet Master Axis of Evil. Then we got Killjoy, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. Then we got Doll Graveyard, Sideshow, When Puppets and Dolls Attack, Demonic Toys, Part 2. So I got Part 1 that I just showed you, and now I got Part 2 right there. And Dangerous Worry Dolls. I mean, How awesome and badassery is this entire thing? That is a lot of movies. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17 movies, yeah. This is just bad. Unbelievable. That's like a whole weekend, man. It's a whole weekend's worth. Okay, I got this one here. Another classic horror collection. This is the original Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the original Haunting, the original House of Wax, which I've actually seen the original one. It's really, really cool. Vincent Price. I got to get all of Vincent Price's movies, man. I mean, Vincent Price was my all-time favorite horror icon of, that age. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if Vincent Price was still around today just doing his thing? And yeah, I mean, if you guys aren't familiar, I mean, there you go. Everybody knows House of Wax, The Haunting, Freaks, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Great. I can't wait to start watching these. These would be awesome to do. All right. And of course, no horror collection is complete without the complete Chucky set. Of course, it's not really the complete Chucky set now because now we got that weird comedy movie that's out now. Knockoff of Chucky. But Child's Play, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Child's Play, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. I've actually seen all of these, but I have not seen Curse of Chucky yet. But I'm probably going to rewatch all of these all over again and then check out Curse of Chucky. If anybody's out there has actually seen Curse of Chucky, let me know what you guys thought about it. If you guys have seen the new Child's Play, let me know what you thought of that. It wasn't something that I was expecting. But, all right, let's see. We got George A. Romero, Diary of the Dead. I have not seen this yet. 4 stars masterpiece. This is Dimension Extreme. It's got a bunch of special features. Let's see here. From legendary horror master George Romero comes one of the most daring, hypnotic, and absolutely vital horror films of the past decade, says Fangoria. And if Fangoria says it's good, then you know what? It must be good. Romero continues his influential Dead series, this time focusing on a terrified group of college film students who record the pandemic rise of flesh-eating zombies while struggling for their own survival. Intensely gruesome and relentlessly grisly, fueled by the director's signature realistic special effects, Diary of the Dead is a must-see horror. Quote, is Romeo at his finest, says BloodyDisgusting.com. And special features, we got a commentary. I love commentaries. Commentaries, I mean, the more commentaries on a feature film, the better. You know what I mean? I like all commentaries. We got by writer, director, and let's see, photography, Adam Switch, and editor. For the record, feature-length documentary on film's cast, crew, and creation, the roots, the inspiration for the film, the first week, a visit to the set, familiar voices, cameo outtakes, MySpace contest winners, and character confessionals. And that is in English and Spanish subtitles. Yeah, I mean, you just can't go wrong with George Romero. Growing up, my favorite films have always been zombie films. All of them. And it's great when you love something, but then when something becomes so mainstream, it gets diluted and it gets just destroyed. And I know I got a lot of Walking Dead fans out there, and let me tell you something. When Walking Dead first came out, I absolutely loved Walking Dead. It was great, but after like maybe season 3, season 4, I just felt it just kept repeating itself. They made the entire world look like walking down a dirt road with trees on both sides. Like there was never any cities. Like I never saw any cities. It was like their entire lives they were walking down the street in Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? Like I was so excited. Like I live in Washington D.C. area. I was so excited when they were gonna come to D.C. and they're I was like, yeah, we're gonna see them walking around Pennsylvania Avenue, Independence Avenue, Constitution Avenue. But it was like they made D.C. look like Pennsylvania. It was just ridiculous. And it just really turned me off from a lot of zombie films. And I feel like now any zombie film that comes out or zombie movie is trying to copy The Walking Dead. And The Walking Dead just, to me, destroyed the genre of zombie films. So, you know what? Somebody out there needs to make a really cool one. All right. 12 creature features. All right. When we talk about horror, a lot of people, we forgot about these movies. I mean, these movies were the cheesiest movies of all time with the CGI. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using props, a lot of these movies use actual spiders and actual iguanas and stuff in their stuff, and it just looks so cheesy, but it's great. I can't wait to watch this. This is gonna be like a 6-pack and popcorn night, man. Me and my lady just gonna watch these. We got The Creeping Terror, Horror of the Zombies, The Wasp Woman, Kong Island. What is that? Camarera, The Invincible. The Horrors of Spider Island, Island of the Minotaur, The Crater Lake Monster, Horror High, Attack of the Monsters, Snow Beast, Bride of the Gorilla. I mean, can you imagine like working back in the day and making these films back in the day and everybody getting together and saying, okay, we got to figure out the name of one of these. What are we going to call our movie? And somebody just came out, let's call it Attack of the Monsters. And they were like, yes, that's a great idea. It's like, what? Bride of Gorilla. You know, I mean, it would have been so cool. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all that stuff there. So those are all my DVDs. I picked up a couple Blu-rays. The Midnight Meat Train. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. This was actually the first movie that I've ever seen with Bradley Cooper in it. And as you can see, I already flipped it over. Easily the best Clive Barker adaptation since the first Hellraiser film. I would agree with that. Hellraiser, the whole franchise, it's one of my favorite things. But Clive Barker did an awesome job on this movie. It's really badassery. In case anybody hasn't seen it or heard of it, it says here, struggling photographer Leon Kaufman, that's Bradley Cooper's obsessive pursuit of dark subject matter, leads him into the path of a serial killer. Mahogany, that's the serial killer's name. The subway murderer who stalks late-night commuters, ultimately butchering them in the most gruesome ways imaginable. I am a total fan of, the original blood and gore, man. Using prosthetics, character makeup, blood tubing effects, all of that stuff. That is what I love. To me, it looks the most realistic, even though back then, people thought it didn't look that realistic, when they're using like red paint for blood and stuff like that. But to me, it looks so, yeah, it looks so realistic when they're using real blood tubing effects and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? This movie uses a lot of CGI for their murder scenes and blood scenes, but it is done in such an amazing and artistic way. It's badassery at its finest. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a fan of too much CGI. Really, any CGI in my horror films. I like the original everything. But if you're a fan of blood and gore, I mean, look at that. There's just buckets of blood in this film. And some of the special effects are really, really awesome. So, yeah, we got that one over there. Next one, this is one of my all-time favorite dark comedy horror films of all time, The Return of the Living Dead. I could watch this movie over and over and over again. I love everything about this movie. I love the actors. I love the cast. I love all the... Anytime you see this movie, the box art is just great. I love the posters for this film. I love everything about this film. This is a collector's edition, Blu-ray and DVD. If you are a fan, if you haven't seen this movie and you're a fan of like movies like Reanimator or Bride of Reanimator or Young Frankenstein. Well, Young Frankenstein's a little too out there, but Beetlejuice. I mean, you really got to pick this up. It has lots and lots of special features and commentaries. I mean, it's badassery. So, gotta get that one. All right, and the last one I got here, of course, I got the NECA Friday the 13th Part 3 3D figure, so I had to get a copy of the 3D movie. And it's got the cheesy 3D glasses in there. I've actually already tried to do this on my TV, and it is like old school 3D with the red and blue glasses, and it's crazy because it gives you a headache after 5 minutes. But anyways, check that out, guys. That's my horror haul, my DVDs. So there's my DVD collection. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you guys have seen any of those movies. If you want to see any of those movies, let me know. And as always, everybody, I appreciate my small amount of subscribers that I do have. It's a new channel. Hopefully I can have more subscribers. Hopefully I can make some more friends, everything. Subscribe. I got a lot of content coming out. Hit a like, drop a comment, say hello to other people who drop comments, check out their pages, check out their channels, communicate with each other, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.